Oh, hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I, of course, am the brofict one, AJ, and good morning, good afternoon on this wonderful Saturday, May the 28th, 2022. Happy Memorial Day weekend. And thank you to everyone who has served and fought for us and has, you know, made it possible for me to do what I'm doing today. So shout out and thank you very much and enjoy the weekend. I'm here in sunny California. Yeah, let's call it that. The sun's starting to break through the clouds a little bit as we get this morning rolling here. Crazy night in sports last night. We had a couple do or dies in the playoffs, and basketball and hockey both ending. And the way we thought, but not the way we completely thought, which we'll get into that in a moment. The Raiders saying absolutely nothing about Colin Kaepernick's workout. That's something else right there. And then, of course, handicapping all things sports. We got a lot of MLB on the slate today, got a little bit of hockey, and by a little bit I mean one game in hockey tonight. And then that means I had some time to go ahead and handicap some USFL games. And just why not? Why wouldn't I? I got nothing else to do. Might as well go ahead and handicap that slate. But took a look at that. It's going to be a good one. Monaco Grand Prix starts tomorrow. There's a lot going on in the sports world. It's awesome. Even though we are in what's technically a slower time for sports, everything winding down right now in all the major sports. MLB, the only one really ramping up into mid-season form. But hey, that doesn't mean there's not anything to talk about. There's so much going on that we do need to discuss. Oh, hold on. My computer is being a pain right now. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, yeah. Star Wars Celebration was this week for any of you degenerates out there that love Star Wars. It was interesting. I have not yet watched the Obi-Wan series. I am dying to. Okay, my computer is fixed now. Sorry. Have not had a chance to watch the Obi-Wan series yet. It looks freaking awesome though. But that's another thing for another podcast. So let's go ahead and let's dive right into what we saw yesterday. And of course, the first screen you see isn't going to be me being prepared, so that's great. Last night, Heat go ahead and tie it up 3-3 in the series. Now, I mean, Jimmy Butler he was unbelievable last night. 47 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. He wasn't good enough to get a double-double, and he completely ruined my parlay because I had a nice little same gamer. It was Heat, Jimmy Butler double-double, Kyle Lowry over 8.5 points at plus 100. I mean, that was the steal of the day. And yet here I am sitting with my thumbs up my ass because Jimmy Butler could not get 10 rebounds. But hey, hell of a performance from the boys. It's funny going around now on NBA Twitter, NBA TikTok, and everything like that. The conspiracy theories are flying. I mean, there was someone yesterday, I forgot which channel it was, so I cannot give proper credit. I'm sorry. They made a funny video, though, especially saying the NBA is rigged. They're going to make sure the Heat win so that the Warriors get more time to rest and they can win the finals. Which, I mean, it's not out of the characteristics for the NBA. Part of the games that I watched last night, I was driving to Cali, so I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I didn't see the refs being that big of a factor in the game. Obviously, fans aren't going to agree with calls that don't go their team's way, especially when they're at home. That's the thing that really shocked me about this. That they were at home, and Boston has been such a good home team in these playoff series. But is what it is, I guess. Celtics going to have to try to close it out in Miami coming up on tomorrow. We'll handicap that game as tomorrow morning. Then let's go to the ice as the Avalanche send the Blues packing at home. Well, not packing. I guess they just had a short drive home. But Avalanche moving on to Who are they playing next? See, this is the issue when I do these this early in the morning. I forget stuff like this. Monday, May 30th. Yep, Rangers. Oh, Edmonton. They'll be facing Edmonton in the West Finals starting on Tuesday. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm just going to go ahead and give you my prediction right now. We're seeing we're seeing Avalanche and the Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's going to be our that's going to be our playoffs. That's going to be our finals. I can't wait. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. That really will be. And, it'll give the Lightning a chance to defend their title for the three-peat and give the Avalanche to really show what they've been doing has been working. And, they deserve to be here. And this season wasn't a fluke. Like another team that I know two teams I know that had really great regular seasons and then lost in the playoffs way too early. Shout out to Arizona Sports on that one. But no, it's been a hell of a series in the NHL. Like Noah and I have been preaching, if you are not doing anything and you are not watching NHL playoff hockey, I don't know what you're doing. I really, really don't. Got to give it a shot. It's some of the most exciting action you'll see on the ice in sports, especially in the playoffs. Oh, especially in the playoffs. It's great. But since, we're talking about hockey, let's go ahead and get it started on the games. We only have one game on the ice tonight. It's our only playoff game today as NBA is taking the day off so the Heat can travel. Well, so both teams can travel, of course. So that leads to our one playoff game today, Hurricanes and the Rangers. Let's see what's going on there. Hurricanes, 1.5 point road favorite. Opening up at 1.5 points. That must have been bet. I cannot wait to take a look at the numbers. Over is at 5.5. Seems a little low for this series, but the juice does seem to be on the over at -113. Money line is about as even as you're going to see in this series. I would not be shocked for this to get bet to a pick'em. That's going to be tough. It's in the Garden. The Rangers play so well at home. Let's check out where the money's at. It must have been a lot of money. It must have been a lot of money to sway the books off of the home favorite and give it to the Hurricanes, because we're seeing here 33% of the bets, 48% of the money. Now, yes, that is a 15-point differential. That is enough to, definitely bat an eye at and take a look at. However, with 67% of the bets and 52% of the money, it's not like the Rangers have lost favor here. It's not like the common bettor, and it still seems like some sharp and bigger bettors are betting on the Rangers, keeping it at 52% and still a 15-point differential. But that is leading me to the money. So we're going to check something out. Oh, can I do it on here? Oh, I got to go somewhere. Really cool feature in public. Yeah, there we go. Really cool feature in Action Network. Seriously, if you don't use Action Network to help you a sports bet, you're wasting a lot of time, you're wasting a lot of effort, and it gives you a lot of information so you can make some more decisions. So as we're looking here, this gives us a breakdown of where the money and the bets are on all three major markets. So we're seeing on the spread a 26-point differential, but in the, oh my goodness, 10% of the bets, 36% of the money. I didn't even take a look at the numbers. I just saw the differential. And then you're seeing another 16% differential on the money line. And so this breaks it down. So what we see in the public betting when I just click on the game, when I go into the game, that's going to be for all the markets and where everything's kind of leaning, especially, with the money line and the spread. And so this gives it more of a breakdown. And so on the money line, we're looking at 33%. That's 49% of the money, 16 points. And then total, it's going under. Really interesting. I think this is going to go over, but we'll get into that in a sec, especially if I get it at 5. I would take that push and in a same game parlay. Well, not a same game parlay, take the side and take the total. The money's interesting on this game. I mean, heavy money coming in here on the Hurricanes and the Rangers. Let's check who's in the goals for these two squads. These are points. Who's in the goal? All right. So, that's right. Sturkin. How do you bet against Igor? How? With not only a name like that, but the way he's been playing, absolutely standing on his head, not letting anything in. Oh, it's hard to bet against you, Igor. But do I see the Rangers? Do I see them continuing the series? Yes, I do. I see a game 7. I see a game 7 coming. I'm going to have to side on the public with this one, unfortunately. That's a shitty money line. What does the book have on that? Because that's a rough, if that money line's like that, that's rough. Yeah, you're not getting any value in this game whatsoever. Maybe check the 60-minute line, and that's where you're going to get some value. Yep. But once they open it up to the full game, you're going to lose a lot, and it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what I'm doing. No, I do know what I'm doing. I'm sticking with the Canes on the money line. Give me the over 5.5 with that juice there. I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to. Yeah, I'm looking at 3-3 before OT. Igor will stand up. Igor will play excellent. Yeah. Are they going to close it out? No, we're going to see a game 7. See, now I'm flip-flopping. This is ridiculous. No, we're sticking with my gut here. We're going Canes to close out the series in New York. I don't think the Rangers have enough juice in them to get it done, especially watching the way they've been playing in this series. So go ahead and give me the Hurricanes on the money line over 5.5 to call it good in on the ice. Before we move on to the USFL, yes, we're going to talk about the USFL today because there's football on. You got to watch it. Colin Kaepernick did have a tryout with the Raiders this week, and Josh McDaniels, the new head coach over there, was asked about it and answered the questions in such a Belichick way. You know, he's a part of that tree, and he's going to continue to do great in these press conferences, as we see Belichick do as well. He was asked by a reporter, "Hey, how do you go? You know, what did you see? Blah blah blah," and just such a Patriot answer. We don't talk about evaluations. We work out a lot of players, and some sign, some don't, and yeah, we're gonna keep it going. And so all the cliches were used. It was beautiful work by Josh McDaniels. Shout out to him. It'll be interesting to see what the Raiders do there with the Colin Kaepernick. I wouldn't even call it a situation. I would just call it the potential signing. I want to take a look at their depth chart real quick because I forget who is backing up Carr. Because from my recollection, and again, I just talk football. No one cares about anything. Like, you're not listening to this for politics, but Nick Mullins is backing up Carr. I do not have a good recollection of Nick Mullins and what he has done. Well, the one game he played in was it was against them. Oh, he was on the Brownies. Okay. I think that's what it's looking like. But I mean, hey, another veteran quarterback who knows the NFL can pick up an offense pretty quickly. Not the worst thing, especially with, you have such a solid team behind it. You would hate for Derek Carr to get injured, even to get out for a couple of weeks and then ruin the whole season. Excuse me. Now, with that being said, though, there are a lot of younger, cheaper, more in the NFL now quarterbacks that are on the market and that are readily available. I mean, Baker Mayfield, he is a backup already, but hey, why don't you be a backup for a team that's going to get a ring? I mean, I don't see the Brownies winning a ring this year. Even if Deshaun Watson does start any games, he is a great player, and what we see him do on the field is unbelievable. However, if outside forces do come in and he is suspended for most of the season or all the season, you're gonna, you got to have someone to come in there and back it up a little bit. But is that really, you really want to do that with Colin Kaepernick? I mean, he's 37, 35, hasn't touched a field in a long time. I mean, it kind of made me scratch my head a little bit, like the Tebow signing, not because of anything personal, but just because that's an older player. He is older. Yes, he has the experience, but he's been away from the game for a while, not changing positions. So that, I guess, is a bonus. However, with the way the NFL is now, with the talent level that it is now amongst college athletes, I wouldn't go here. We'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, it's one of those things. From a football standpoint, I don't know if it makes any sense. I really don't. Shout out to Kaepernick. I hope he does get another shot in the show. He was a half decent quarterback. His numbers in the last 2 seasons he played, not the best. And I think the 49ers were looking to move on from him either way, regardless of any situations that popped up, kind of like they are with Jimmy G. They're just ready to move on. It does seem to be ownership in this GM's kind of fashion. You come in, you do what we need you to do, and then we'll get you out of here and we'll keep it moving. Which, again, with reports still coming out that the Niners want to get Jimmy G out of town once his shoulder's good. I get it. You got a young quarterback in Trey Lance and everything. Why would you blow up a good thing, though? Why would you blow up a good thing? I'm not going to compare it to when the Bulls got blown up after winning 6. However, you make playoffs a couple years in a row with this quarterback, with this system, with this offense. And you're probably going to lose Deebo Samuels, but that's again, a whole other conversation. If you want to blow it up, I guess go ahead. But yeah, I guess that's why I'm not a GM. Some degenerate that talks on a microphone. Well, do I want to get into MLB or do I want to get into... Let's talk a little MLB. It's a big slate today in the MLB. Now is really where we get baseball's time to shine. We've had a couple of bad matchups, but we're really about to see the MLB hopefully shine and gain back some of those viewers they lost, because even going to some of these games, like the Dodgers D-backs game yesterday, usually a game that does extremely well in Arizona, and it did do well, but it wasn't a sellout. And it's going to be one of those things. When is the next time we're going to see an MLB stadium sold out? I bet we saw some for opening day. I would have to look at the numbers. I don't have them in front of me, but baseball is in a fragile state, and let's hope the stooge Rob Manfred doesn't F it up. But with that being said, let's head to the Diamond. Got early action today, starting at 9:05 here on the West Coast. Unfortunately, sports betting is not legal here, so I am unable to log into my apps and place these bets. However, this is what I would take for the day. But don't worry, I did get my rugby parlay, my NASCAR picks, which we'll talk about tomorrow and I got everything in before I left town, except for today's slate because it wasn't posted when I left, but who cares? Nationals, Rockies. We got started off with a W. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're looking at here. Sanchez and Gomber on the hill. Rockies are the road favorite here, minus the 1.5. The Nationals have not been able to find their groove whatsoever. The total being at 9 right now. Money line's a little funky. Let's check the numbers. Yep, and it's going to be a Rockies Palooza. And I say you got to stick with the Rockies here. You give me the Rockies on the money line. I'm not going to take the 1.5 because the Nationals bats can get hot and keep it close. But yeah, Rockies money line is going to be a nice way to start the morning, get that first victory out of the way, and then keep it rolling into the rest. Red Sox, Orioles, Red Sox money line, not going to waste time on that. Twins, Royals, give me Twins money line, not going to waste time on that. Brewers, looks like the books learned from the first matchup, not going to give us Brewers plus money anymore. Did start plus the 1.5, so maybe if you got in early enough, you saw the overnight lines and enjoyed it. And then maybe you got lucky enough and hopped on some plus money Brewers action. Check the money. Yep, go ahead. Brewers money line all day long. What else are we looking at here? Rangers Athletics, I'm not going to touch. Guardians Tigers, I'm not going to touch. Reds Giants, I'm not going to touch. Yankees Rays. Yankees on the money line yesterday, giving us plus money. Even though it was like plus 103, you're still going to take plus money with the Yankees and enjoy that nice little payout. Everyone and their mom is going to be on the Yankees here, seeing a 16-point differential, though, between the bets and the money. Some big money coming in on the Rays. But that's because people don't want to believe that home teams don't die. But they do. They die painful deaths when they play the Yankees. Anything else I like today? Rockies. Oh, Rockies Nationals playing a doubleheader today. That explains. And same with the Orioles, Red Sox. Nice day there. Don't touch those second games unless you really want to. I hate touching them, especially on the back-to-backs. D-backs Dodgers got Kelly on the hill for the D-backs. Whoo! Wow, that's a lot of money on the D-backs. I think a lot of people are kind of on the thought process I'm at. The D-backs are bad, but they're not. No, I won't even say the D-backs are bad. The D-backs are a serviceable team. Definitely, middle of the road. I think they're going to finish about 500, maybe a little under if they do finish under 500, but not too much. I like them to make it to the playoffs. I really do, even at a wild card spot. And I think the D-backs are not going to get swept by the Dodgers. I promise you that. They're going to win one of these games. Just depends which one. Kelly on the hill has been serviceable. So that means tomorrow we'll get Gallen on the mound in an afternoon game, unless we use a bullpen day to switch it up. I mean, what's that money line at? Plus 153 D-backs. Give it to me. Love it all day long. Or the nightcaps. Pirates, Padres, Astros, Mariners. I'm good. I am good. The Pirates are a scary team, not because they are good, but because they can just rattle off a win whenever they want to. And I've not been following close enough this week to see how they've been doing, so I'm not going to make a pick on that. Same with the Mariners and the Astros. The Astros are the better team. However, the Mariners, they like to get hot sometimes for some reason. It makes no sense to me, but hey, props to them for doing what they got to do. And I told you we'd talk about it. And so I'm going to give you my 2 USFL picks for the day. Or a couple more. Haven't been watching it as closely as I would like to. It has been on the background in many different occasions. But here we are with the Generals and the Bandits. Generals have been one of the hottest teams in the sport right now. Well, in football, in USFL right now. So I'm going to take the Generals minus the 3 points here. Breakers are the #1 team right now in the USFL. So I'm going to take them on the money line. The 6 points just scares me a little bit because it's the USFL. Let's be real. You don't really know. You don't really know. This is a gamble of gambles. But with everything that I've looked at, that is the best bet of the day there. And I love it. I love it. I love it. Chef's kiss. It's beautiful. That's really all I have for the USFL. That's all I have on the handicapping side of today. Give me a moment, and I'm going to pull up the crypto charts, and we're going to see how we're looking today because it was rough yesterday. It's been rough last couple days. And before we get into this, want to say yet again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Just some degenerate who loves talking into microphones. Ooh, I think we're seeing some green. Oh, yeah, it's green. I mean, it's green. It is, the color of the chart is great. That is a good thing. But let's get into it. Bitcoin, it's in the green, but $29,000 trading at. Let's see what the chart's looking like. What are we doing here? Let's get it going. $24-hour high is only 29,239. Whoo! Okay, this is going to be the 24-hour chart. Looks like at the end of yesterday, we saw a major sell-off, a lot of volume there going, and then being tried to get picked up. Big volume bought there again. Nice spike, but then not being able to continue it down. But then just keep going down, seeing these peaks and valleys. But and we'll see if it'll level off. It looks like we're getting some volume coming in here. And it's going to continue to tick up, but it's going to be some day trading volume. Bitcoin looks to be a little bit more fragile than we expected it to be. Same with Ethereum at 1,800 right now. We're in the dog days, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the dog days of crypto right now. It isn't looking good as we look at the 24-hour chart here. I mean, it's up from what it was 24 hours ago at 12 o'clock this morning, trading at 1716, up 100, but looking rough. Let's look at the week chart. Going to be finishing down on the week, a significant down on the week, as we see a lot of heavy volume, especially there on the 26th. And it looks like it's trying to consolidate here at 1800, but we're going to have to keep an eye on that for the rest as we go into this next week. Looking at the full month chart, we're seeing where the crash started, and it has not been able to really regain anywhere. We're seeing, I guess, right here, it looked like we were going to get a resistance point right here at about 1900, but it just couldn't hold it, and dropping down to 18 now in Ethereum. This is the best. Dogecoin saw a little bit of a rally yesterday. That was interesting. Elon Musk out of the blue came off the top rope and was like, oh yeah, by the way, Tesla or SpaceX merge, I believe it was SpaceX merge, can now be bought with Dogecoin. Saw some excitement, but not enough to keep it going. It seems to be leveling off at about the 8-cent mark. It was trending at about 7-cent mark, trading sideways there. 5-day, yep, you can see all of that volume right there. Went from, what was that, 0.778 to 0.0831. Dogecoin is still one of the more volatile altcoins out there, meme coins out there, if you will. But damn, that sucks. Shiba Inu, I'm not even going to waste my breath on that. ApeCoin, looking for a little bit of a resurgence here, but still at $6. This one is a little bit more understandable. I truly see ApeCoin going down more because Yuga Labs hasn't said anything since its release. It was used for the other side drop. OpenSea is starting to use it. Other sites, other crypto and NFT companies are starting to accept ApeCoin as a form of currency because it is tied to Yuga Labs, but Yuga itself has not come out with any plans or anything for the coin. And so I think that's why we're seeing still, even though, yes, this is a crash, but even though we're seeing this crash right now, that's more of a reason of why we're not seeing really anything good. But it looks like it's trying to consolidate here at $6. Seems to be the most consistent trading we've had this week when it comes to the ape. It's just been kind of volatile at the $7 mark. Looking to balance out here at the $6 mark. And hey, I'll be honest with you, I'm taking some heavy losses on the ApeCoin right now. I believe in it still. I still think Yuga Labs, being the leader in NFTs and the leader in what these NFT communities are, I still think the other side and ApeCoin have huge upside potential. Still not stoked with how they've handled everything, but understand why they did. This is a coin that I've been keeping my eye on. Jasmine now trading at a cent and some change. But we're still seeing some nice growth here, even in this hard time. Like it went through the same crash that all other coins did as well. But now starting, especially in this 5-day period here, to hopefully stabilize here at this 0.19 range and start to regain back up to where we were looking at. Looking at the 1 day, you're seeing some nice bumps, nice peaks and valleys, and settling out very nice. More volume being bought here. Hey, not bad for the Jasmine coin, or Yasmi, or whatever the hell it's called. But yeah, that's your crypto update of the day. Seeing some green, but not as much green as we would like to, especially in our wallets. But hey, not saying we're in a crypto winter yet, because I truly believe, as Mark Cuban, Kevin O'Leary, and plenty of other tech execs have said, this reminds them a lot of the dot-com bubble. This reminds them of when everything was just kind of up in the air. All of this new tech was coming out. Not enough people were aware of it or using it. And then it all kind of settled out and everyone made a shit ton of money. And I think that's where we're going with this. So again, not a financial advisor, degenerate sitting on a beach who likes to talk about everything and likes to talk into a microphone. So take what I say with a grain of salt. And do your own research, be responsible, and trade responsibly, bet responsibly, drink responsibly, drive responsibly, jump out of planes responsibly, do all of the above responsibly. With that being said, time to go crush some Coronas and sit by the beach, I believe. if you aren't already, please follow us on Twitter at Degen Takes, myself at Perfect One, my co-host Noah at N_Engelbretson or Engel Money Train for all of his winning picks. Shout out to him and the boys out in Mexico. Please don't die. I need to get you back here. We're going to record on Tuesday. That'll be a hell of a time. With that being said, though, it's a beautiful Saturday. Get out there and get it. Enjoy